Yo, welcome back to the Sidetrack show, episode 2, and we're already spiraling into weird territory. From pixel phones to paranormal stories, no roadmap, just vibes.
That's right. We're not a tech channel or a horror channel. We're just two guys talking about everything and anything that sidetracks us. And today's story? It's chilling.
Haunted apartments, creepy late night voices, dogs growling at thin air. It's like a Netflix show, but real. Honestly, I'm already regretting recording this at night.
Same. But it's a story worth telling. So if you're into unpredictable convos, random deep dives, and a little chaos, you're in the right place.
Hit that follow, drop a like, and buckle up. Episode 2 is about to get spooky.
My friend told me this story a while back and it's stuck with me ever since. He shared it with such intensity, like he was reliving every moment, so I'll tell it in his own words, as if I were him living in that haunted apartment. Here's how it went. 3 years ago, I moved into a second-floor apartment, desperate to get out of my ex's mom's house and have a place of our own. My best friend found it for me. Her sister was breaking the lease, and we jumped at the chance. The layout was simple. Walk in, kitchen on the right, open to the living room. Past that, a long 20-foot hallway with 3 doors on the left, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a laundry room at the end. I used the spare bedroom as an art studio, with a desk and laptop for watching YouTube while I worked. My ex had a gaming computer in the living room. He taught me to always shut my laptop down properly, and since his cats love jumping on everything, I kept the studio door closed to avoid trouble. For the first year and a half, while I was still with my ex, things were mostly quiet. But one night, I woke up to the sound of a video playing, loud, like someone cranked the volume. I thought it was his gaming setup. Maybe a cat stepped on the modem. Groggy, I drifted back to sleep. But in the morning, I heard him go into my studio and realized it was my laptop playing a YouTube video. My heart sank. That laptop needed a passcode to start. I knew I'd turned it off, and the studio door had been closed all night. If it was on, we'd have heard it before bed. We couldn't explain it, chalked it up to a glitch, and tried to forget it.
A laptop turning on by itself, playing a video, that's eerie as hell. Did anything else happen while his ex was still there?
Nothing major, which is why it was so easy to brush off. But after the divorce, when I was alone with my Great Dane, things got terrifying. My ex took his cats, so it was just me and my dog, who always slept in my bedroom, never the living room. I started noticing this stale cigarette smell, randomly hitting me in the laundry room, the hallway, or right when I walked in the door. I don't smoke, my ex didn't, and my friend's sister, who lived there before, never did either. It was like the air itself was tainted, carrying the presence of something unseen. The hallway was worse. It was long, narrow, and felt wrong, like something was watching me every time I walked through it. My friend, who'd visited when her sister lived there for 10 years, said it always gave her the creeps too. Though her sister swore, nothing ever happened. I could never shake the feeling of being watched, never felt at ease alone. About 6 months after the divorce, I started dating my boyfriend, who'd stay over sometimes because I hated being there alone. I was hearing things, rattling in the kitchen at night, like someone was digging through drawers. I lived in a rough area, so I wondered if a homeless person had snuck in, but I could never find evidence. The worst night came when I was alone in bed. My dog sleeps on a futon at the foot of my bed and she's laid back, out cold at night. But at 2 a.m. I woke to her growling, low, guttural, staring into the hallway, teeth bared. I'd never seen her like that. My heart was pounding. I shushed her to listen and I heard it. Footsteps, slow and creaking, coming from the living room toward my bedroom door.
Footsteps in the middle of the night? That's pure terror. What did he do?
I thought someone had broken in. I was shaking, but I grabbed my pistol from under the bed and crept toward the doorway, which was open. The footsteps got closer and I braced myself to see someone, maybe the intruder I'd suspected for months. But when I looked, the hallway was empty. Nothing. I checked the whole apartment, doors locked, windows secure. The footsteps just stopped like they'd never been there. I barely slept that night, the fear clinging to me like damp air. My boyfriend didn't experience as much, but he believed me. He'd wake up in a panic sometimes, feeling a heavy dread, like something was in the room with us. One night, we both heard the silverware drawer in the kitchen rip open and slam shut with a bang. We froze, too scared to check, just trying to ignore it and pretend it wasn't real. When I decided to move out, I ran into the restaurant owner downstairs while grabbing my mail. We got to talking, and I mentioned I was leaving. He asked, out of nowhere, if I'd ever experienced anything strange, not like trouble in the alley, but things I couldn't explain. My face went pale. I told him about the noises, the smells, everything. He wasn't surprised. Said his customers and staff had seen apparitions in the restaurant, shadows moving, cans flying off shelves. He felt watched too, like something heavy was always there. Then he dropped the bombshell. A previous tenant in another apartment in the building had used an Ouija board. A medium he brought in sensed energy vortexes in the basement, whatever that means. It hit me hard, realizing it wasn't just in my head.
And Ouija board? That's like inviting ghosts to move in. What was the final straw that made him leave?
The last thing that happened sealed it. One night, I was in bed, my boyfriend brushing his teeth down the hall. My dog was settling onto her futon, and I said, "Good night" to her. He came back and asked who I was talking to, said he heard, "Good night," twice, clear as day. I told him I only said it once. That was it. I couldn't stay another night. I packed up and moved out soon after. Even now, thinking about it sends chills down my spine.
A voice mimicking him? That's horrifying. I'd have been gone way sooner. Thanks for sharing that, Nova. It's a story that'll stick with me.
Yeah, my friend still gets uneasy talking about it. I'm just glad he's out of that place.
That one gave me chills. Definitely locking my door tonight.
Same here. It's wild how real some of these stories get.
If you enjoyed the ride, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves a good scare.
Got your own creepy story? Drop it in the comments. We might feature it next.
We're Cyro and Nova. Thanks for hanging out.
Stay curious.
Stay tuned.